Have you ever believed that an old pair of shoes could change someone's entire life? Sometimes what we truly need isn't help, but someone who can seize the value inside us, even if it's just through a worn-out pair of shoes. And sometimes the quietest form of kindness becomes the force that carries a young soul far and steady on the journey of life. In the heart of the old Marais quarter, where moss-covered walls whisper with age and church bells ring through the autumn breeze, there stood a humble yet well-known cobbler's shop, Lucien's. On its weathered wooden door hung a faded sign, carved with a simple yet mysterious phrase, "Where shoes come to find themselves again." One windless afternoon, as the golden sunset bathed the cobbled streets, the door creaked open. A young man stepped inside. His coat was worn thin at the shoulders, the sleeves stained with the dust of the road. In his hands was a pair of battered dress shoes, their heels so worn that the inner soles were exposed. He placed them gently on the counter, bowed his head, and hesitantly spoke. "Sir, I need to have these soles replaced, but I don't have enough money yet. May I leave you a little now and pay the rest later?" Lucien looked up. He didn't pay attention to the tattered coat. He didn't glance at the money. What caught his eye was the way the young man held the shoes with both hands, as if cradling a precious keepsake, and the way his ears flushed red from embarrassment, carefully flattening each corner of the crumpled bills. Without asking another word, Lucien gave a small nod. "Leave them here. Come back the day after tomorrow. We'll settle the payment later." 2 days later, the student returned, but what awaited him wasn't just a repaired pair of shoes. When he saw them, he stood frozen. The soles were not only replaced with sturdy leather, but lined inside with soft sheepskin. The stitches shimmered with beeswax polish, the kind of premium material only top workshops dared to use. He stammered, barely able to form words. This is more than a new pair of shoes." Lucien simply gave a calm smile. "I don't fix shoes based on the money they bring. I fix them based on the journey they're about to take. And this pair deserves exactly that, eh?" His throat tightened. He reached into his pocket and pulled out every last coin he had, even the smallest ones. But it still wasn't enough. He looked up at Lucien, ready to say something. Lucien quietly looked him in the eyes and spoke gently. "Keep that money. Use it for a proper meal. Pay me by walking far and walking strong in these shoes." The young man bowed deeply, a wordless gesture of gratitude. As he stepped out of the shop, something about his stride changed. It wasn't just smoother, it was straighter, more assured, as if someone had quietly stitched a layer of soft leather into his pride and self-belief, just enough to smooth the roughest roads ahead. Those very shoes later carried him through the most difficult scholarship interview of his life. They stayed with him through graduation exams, heavy with pressure and sleepless nights. And in the coldest Parisian winters, they silently took him through rain and snow, to the library, every single night, without fail. But like all good things, those shoes, and the young man who wore them, eventually moved on to a new journey. And the story didn't end there. One peaceful autumn morning in Paris, with soft light falling through a dusty old window, Lucien, now a silver-haired old man, was polishing a worn pair of boots. Suddenly, the bell above the door rang. The familiar mailman stepped in, holding a carefully wrapped box. Lucien opened it. Inside was a finely crafted sculpture, a small pair of bronze shoes, detailed to perfection. They looked exactly like the ones he had repaired all those years ago. Thick heels, meticulous stitching, and even the soft inner lining recreated so vividly it seemed to breathe with memory. Next to it was a simple white card, handwritten with care and sincerity. "Dear Mr. Lucien, I did as you told me. Those shoes have taken me farther than I ever dreamed possible. And this morning, they walked with me into the Élysée Palace." Lucien squinted and continued reading, his hands trembling ever so slightly. "I'm sending this small gift, not to repay a debt, because I know your kindness is priceless. I just wanted you to know. The souls you once crafted became the foundation of my life." Lucien sat still. In that moment, he no longer heard the sounds of the street, no longer noticed the dust in the air, only the echo of footsteps he once believed in, now walking farther than he ever imagined. Perhaps that is the greatest reward for a craftsman who spent a lifetime in quiet dedication. And now, a small like means the world. It's a big motivation for me to keep sharing stories that matter. Please hit subscribe so you won't miss any upcoming messages of kindness and humanity. Thank you.